it's a drip, drip, drip. Every day something's coming out of ESPN and ESPN.com with Pete Thamel following the Michigan staffers' penchant for buying tickets around the country. Like, soon we're going to find out, maybe today, that Connor Stallions bought tickets to Cats to start scouting the family pet for Harbaugh. Like we're trying to see what else is he buying tickets to go see around the country, and all of them appear to be set up to make sure that Michigan knew things that they shouldn't. And I can't wait to hear what Bruce Feldman has to say. And I've said over and over and over again that if Michigan did something that it shouldn't, it should pay the piper with whatever is the appropriate punishment to fit the crime based on whatever has happened before, even though the scale of this appears to be unprecedented. Again, appears to be. In the meantime, though, shots are going to get sent in Michigan's direction in quite a way. And yesterday I was saying, because we hadn't known yet if this staffer was trying to give a peep to potential national championship or national playoff semifinalist opponents for Michigan. And then we heard from ESPN yesterday that is in fact was the case, that he started looking at some non-conference teams, or at least bought tickets to those games. And I said it just didn't matter, if they scouted Georgia or not 2 years ago. Suze, you were there when we were all on vacation together, and I was on New Year's Eve watching Georgia beat the crap out of my Wolverines. And I think I've been talked about on the show that Taylor, our then, I guess, 7-year-old, came up and gave me these beads to put around my neck because she was wishing me Happy New Year, and I looked very sad because it was just a total blowout. As I said yesterday, Kirby Smart could have been holding up a sign that said, "We're about to run the ball. We're about to pass the ball." And Michigan couldn't stop it. And obviously, as Todd Blackledge said yesterday, this scheme, if it did exist, is something that would help the defense know what the offense is doing. That defensively is it how it would help you, and not so much on offense that you'd still have to see it and try and be stopped, or try to stop it, even if you know that it's coming. So long story short is then those words were out of my mouth, and it's entirely possible, as I was saying that on the set, Kirby Smart was being asked this question about Michigan maybe having Georgia's signs in that very game, and his response was notable, to say the least.
I guess the necessary follow-up, that's obviously coming about Michigan. You played Michigan. You aware in retrospect or at the time of anything unusual?
No, I didn't notice anything or know anything. Nobody we talked to, warned us or any of that. I mean, I think everybody we play, they say, they steal your signals. I mean, we play somebody, they always like, they're great at stealing your signals. But what they're referencing is different than stealing them. I mean, they're coming in, they're talking about people coming to film them. That's completely different. But we've tried to, hide the signals, hold the calls, put signs up, do all that. But I was nothing I remember about the Michigan game that makes me think that.
Yeah, it's called play better than that. That's what they did. They played better than that.
It's not, of course, nothing would stand out because, you got our asses beat by them. I mean, and it's kind of funny. The reaction that a lot of folks were saying is like, that's savage, that's ice cold. It's the truth. They kicked Michigan's ass up and down the block, and it's just, this is part and parcel, and it's tough for Wolverine fans to, handle this because it has put Michigan in the crosshairs of everything that's happened the last 2 years is all because of this. And I will always push back to say these kids are incredibly talented, and that their talent is something that rules the day, and that it's only going to have to be up to Michigan from here on out after its bye week to go and beat the crap out of Purdue, and then Penn State, and then Maryland, and then the Ohio State, with them all being supposedly on notice, even though everybody in the last 2 years had already been on notice and should have known what was coming in to say we should change our signs and things of that nature. And, still somebody shooting it with a phone, that is beyond the rules, and it should be, again, punished. But I found it fascinating to me Deion Sanders' response when it was brought up to Prime yesterday, this very subject placed in front of Prime, and what he thought about it.
Everyone's trying to get an edge. I mean, everyone's trying to get whatever edge they can. You could have someone's whole game plan. They could mail it to you. You still got to stop it. You still got to stop it. So in football, it's not as pronounced as baseball. If I know a curveball is coming, I got you. You know, with football, I don't give a darn if you know a sweep is coming. You still got to stop it. Physically, it's a physical game. You got to stop it. So that's a little tough. I don't buy into a lot of that stuff that someone's stealing this, stealing that. I don't buy into a lot of that stuff. You still got to play the game. Back in our glory days with San Francisco as well as the Cowboys, you know darn well Emmitt Smith is getting the ball. You know darn well Mike Irvin is running the comeback. You know darn well Jay Novacek is going to do what he's going to do, and you couldn't stop it. It is what it is. Stop it.
I love, man. And obviously, you know, that to me, I'll say it, sounds like a guy without an axe to grind on Jim Harbaugh like everybody else does. So he's spitting you what he believes is the truth. And obviously it is something that I'm going to hang my hat on, because I don't like the sense that the last 2 years has been rendered completely moot because of all of this. And it's tough to swallow. And I can't wait to see what the next 4 games looks like, because there's a lot at stake, not just for this year, but for the last 2 years. And that's the way this thing is growing, because each passing day, drip, 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 something's coming out. And I can't wait to see when this thing is going to come to a head. When will the NCAA say something? When will the Big Ten say something? Because until then, this drip, drip, drip is going to lead to all of this stuff. And then Jim was on a podcast apparently in Michigan earlier this week talking about how he's going to get a tattoo if he's 15-0 this year. So he seems unbothered and unconcerned by it, which is great because there's still football to be played. But those are my 2 cents, my straight up honest, you know, in my heart, in my gut opinion on all this. And I can't wait to hear what Bruce Feldman's going to say with you, Suze, about what is happening in this investigation. What is fact? What is not? What is against the rules? What is not? What has happened? And when are we going to hear about it?
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.